Good day. Today we're going to learn about contractions. We use contractions every day in our spoken language while we are reading and writing. So today we'll learn how to form a contraction and to remember that a contraction always has an apostrophe. That little thing over there looks like a comma, but it's called an apostrophe. Say it with me. Apostrophe. Good. So I'd like you to pause the video in a second. Go and get some paper and a pencil and we'll form some contractions together. Great. So what is a contraction? A contraction is a shortened form. A shortened form of a word or a group of words that omits, where we take it out, omits certain letters. It is a shorter way to say two words. I'm going to repeat that. So what is a contraction? A contraction is a shortened form of a word or a group of words that omits certain words. Omits means we take something out and in its place we use an apostrophe. Say that with me. An apostrophe. So there's can't, and in the place where I took some letters out, I replaced it with an apostrophe. Good. Let's do one together. So here's an example. So my sentence reads, I am hungry. So I'm going to use these two words to create an apostrophe. So when I use the words I am, I'm going to omit one letter. I'm going to take one letter out. So I'm going to take out the letter A. And in its place, I need to use the apostrophe. Remember, when you take a letter out, in its place you put back an apostrophe. So in its place here, I'm going to put an apostrophe. So now I'm going to write I'm. Remember, we took out the A. In its place, I put an apostrophe and I put the M over there. So instead of saying I am hungry, I shorten it. I've got one word now, and that word is called a contraction. So my new contraction reads, I'm hungry. You see how I took two words, I took out some letters, I omitted some letters. In its place, I used an apostrophe, and now these two words became one short word. And this short word is called a contraction. Good. Now it's time to work in our books. What I'd like you to do in a second is to pause your video, write the word is, put it in a little bubble or underline it neatly with a ruler. Then I'd like you to write all the green writing. He is. Then below it, it is. Below that, she is. Write all the green. Don't forget, write the word is first and then write all the green words, one below the other neatly. Good. Have you done that? Now I'm going to do the first one with you, and then I want you to do the next two in your books by yourself. So what I did, I wrote he is, and I wrote it again. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to omit. What is that word again? Omit. So we're going to omit some letters. That means we are going to take out some letters. And in its place, we need to replace it with, what's that other new word? Yes, it's called an apostrophe. An apostrophe. And remember, the apostrophe is not written on the bottom line. It is up there where the words are. So I've got here, he is. So which letter am I going to omit? Which letter am I going to take out? Let's draw a hand taking out. So we're going to take out something. So I'm going to take out the letter I. And what do we do with it again? We replace it with an apostrophe. Good job. So in its place, I put an apostrophe. So let's write our new word now. So now we have his. So he, we took out the letter I, And now we write the S. And in the place of the I use an apostrophe. You see that? And you see where I made the apostrophe? It's up there by the letters, not on the bottom line. It's up there in the space. And it's always clearly shown in the space where you took out that missing letter. I'd like you to pause the video now and then do the next two on your own. Great. Now we're going to do the next two together, and I want you to check if and see if you have it right. Right, so let's write it first. It is. Which letter are we omitting? We're taking out the I. What do we put in place of the I? Yes, let's hear it. Good. Let's check your answers now. It is. So I wrote the word it is. We omitted the I. And in its place, we put an apostrophe. So when I write my new word, I write it. And the S that's left over. And in its place of the I took out, I put the apostrophe. So where the letters are taken out, that is where you put your apostrophe. So it is now become it. Who's got that right? Great, well done. She is. So I've written she is. I've taken out the letter I, and in its place we've replaced it with an apostrophe. Good. So now I'm going to write she. I write the letter that's left over, S, and in the place where I took out the I, exactly in the same place I put the apostrophe. So she is become she's. Let's read all our new contractions. His, its, she's. Well done. You're doing great so far. Right, our new word we're working with is are. Then we're going to use you are, we are, they are. So I'd like you to pause the video, write the word are, underline it, and write the next three in bullet points, one below the other. Don't forget to pause the video first. Great, let's do this together. So you are, which letter are we going to omit? So we need to keep you, so we're going to take a letter out from the are word. Which letter am I going to take out? Let's write it here. You are. So which letter am I going to take out? You are. I'm going to take out the letter A. And in its place, shout it out with me, in its place we replace it with an apostrophe. Good. Right, so now my new word reads, so I write the word you, and I write what's left over, R and an E. But remember, I took out the letter A. In its place, I need to write the apostrophe. So I'm going to put my apostrophe in there. So in the place of the A, I put an apostrophe. So my new word reads you're. Instead of you are, I say you're going with me. You're. Now what I'd like you to do, the next two. So pause the video, do the next two, write it like I've written it, take out your missing letter, the letter you're omitting, and put in its place you put the apostrophe. So pause the video and do the next two now. Great. Let's do it together and you see, work with me, show me how you did it. So first step is we write we are. So let's write we are. And what do? I need to omit certain letters. So which letter am I taking out? Yes, we are taking out the A. And we replace it with an apostrophe. You are getting so good at this. So now we write the word we, because that's left over. And we've got R and E left over. And the letter A we took out, and in its place we put the, what's that word again? apostrophe. We put in the apostrophe. So instead of saying we are, we can say we're going to the seaside. Right, let's do the next one together. They are. So let's write they are. What's my next step? I need to omit, take out some letters. So which letter am I taking out? In the word are, we omit the A and we replace it with an apostrophe. Great. Let's write our new word now, our contraction. So I'll write the word they. What's left over? R and an E. So I'll write that. And I must not forget to replace the missing letter with an apostrophe. What's my new word now? They're. They're all coming with to the seaside. So let's read our new contractions now. You're, we're, they're. So in the word are, when we use the word are, we need to omit the A. When we do use the word is, we omit the I. Good job. Good. So now we're going to use the word have. I'd like you to pause the video again and I'd like you to write have, underline it, write I have, below that you have, we have, could have, one below the other. So pause the video to all the blue writing, one below the other. Great. Now I'm going to do one with you and I'd like you to do the next three in your books by yourselves. So I have. So when we use the word have, which letter or letters are we going to omit? What does omit mean? To take out. So let's write the word I have first. So I have. So which letters are we going to omit? So I'm going to omit H and A. So both of these letters I'm going to take out. So let's do it here as well. We're going to take out H and A. And in its replace, what's that word again? We are going to put in the apostrophe. That's right. So in its place, I'm going to put the apostrophe. So let's put it there as well. And remember, you always put the apostrophe exactly in the same position where you took those letters out. So my new word now is, so I'm going to put in that one because that's what I've left. I took out the H and the A and I'm left with a V and the E. Do you see that? And now I put it there. Now that doesn't look right. Why? Because we took some letters out and in its place we used the apostrophe. So I need to put that apostrophe in exactly the same space where the H and the A would have been. So now my new word, my contraction reads I've. Instead of saying I have, I now say I've been to the shops today. I've. Right, so I'd like you to pause the video and I'd like you to do the next three in your books. Great. Right, let's do it together and then you can mark your work. You have. So I'm going to write you have. Right, and when we have the word have, we omit the H and the A. So we take out the H and the A. And in its place, we put the apostrophe. Great. So what's our new word now? So I'm going to write you. And we left with the V and the E because we took out the H and the A. So I'm going to write V and E. And in its place, I'm going to put the apostrophe. Remember, the apostrophe is up between the letters, not down on the bottom line. So who had that? Who's got that? Well done. Tick your work as we are doing it. Now we have we have. Right, so we have. So let's write we have. Right, now you need to tell me what must I do. Great. We take out the H and the A. And in its place, we shout together, we replace it with the, that's right, an apostrophe. So now our new word is we, and the remaining letters, which is V, E, and where I took out the letters H and A, we replace it with an apostrophe. So instead of saying we have, we now say we've been shopping too. Last one. We have, now we've got could have. So I'm going to write could and have. And we know the pattern now. We take out the H and the A. We replace it with an apostrophe. So our new word now reads could and VE. And in place of the missing letters, I put the apostrophe. So now my word is could have. So let's read all our new contractions. I've got I've, you've, we've, could have. So we took out, in the word have, we took out the letter H and A and we replaced it with an apostrophe. So now we're left with an apostrophe and the VE. Great job. Last one. Now we're going to use the word not. Same procedure. Pause the video, write the word not, and write down the next 4 in bullet points, one below the other. So pause the video and start writing. Good. Right, let's start. So we're going to write did not. Good. I'm going to write did not. Right, so which letters do I omit now? So when we use the word not, we omit the letter O. So we're going to take out the letter O and we replace it with, what's that big word again? We replace it with an apostrophe. So I take out the letter O and I put in my apostrophe. So let's write our new word now. So I'm going to write did. But this one is tricky because I have an N. We took out, so we wrote the word did. We left with the N and the T. So I'm going to put that in N and the T. But where did I take out my letter? I took out the letter O, which is between the N and the T, which is over there. So in that space, I'm going to put my apostrophe. So exactly where the O should have gone. So instead of saying did not, we now say didn't. Let's do the next two. Who's got that right? Well done. Now do not. So let's write do and not. So let's omit that letter. Which one are we taking out again? The letter O. So I take out the letter O. In its place, I put my apostrophe. Let's write it now. So I'm going to write do, the letter N and the letter T. And remember, we omitted the O. In its place, I put the apostrophe. You cannot put the apostrophe after the T or before the N. It must be in the same space where the O was before. Let's do have not. So have, not the green one, sorry. So have not, let's put in the word have not. Remember, we take out the O. We're left with have, the N and the T. Let's write that. So I'll write that. H, have, the N and the T. And where the O should go, I'm writing the letter, the apostrophe. Great job. So let's read our new word now. Have not becomes haven't. I haven't seen that book before. Right. Let's read our new word now. New one. Are not. Remember, we need to write the word first. Are not. When we use the word not, we take out the letter O and we replace it with an apostrophe. So what is our new word now? So we're going to write R, the N and the T. And in place of the O, we need to put the apostrophe. So instead of saying are not, we say aren't. Great. Who has all of these correct? Well done. Good job. Let's read our new contractions now. Didn't, don't, haven't, aren't. Well done. Great. I hope you found that helpful. And the next time you read a book, I want you to find and write down all the contractions that you can see. Write it down in your book and use it in your writing. You've been great today. So you may switch off now and use the contractions in your writing. Well done.